Sleepy Joe's all-natural sleep formula contains a blend of 18 powerful sleep-inducing ingredients, combined in a scientifically studied ratio to promote sleep and help repair damage at a cellular level. So unlike the original Sleepy Joe, you're actually healing and repairing damage at a cellular level when you take Sleepy Joe. And what could be more fun than being mindlessly incoherent in this day and age? You can only get that with Sleepy Joe right here at redpillliving.com/snarky.
Hi everyone, how do you relax? We relax every day by using our CBD product called Relax. Our CBD is 2,000 milligrams strong, and we use a process called mycelization to extract it. This makes it 7 times more effective than competing products, and it's way better absorbed. It's organic and it's American grown. So if you would like to get your CBD, go to Linda's link to order and start relaxing. See you later.
The reason I'm opening with this is because I've been trying so hard to get this done the way that I want it. I don't have very much makeup on right now. I got so excited because I actually made it happen. But I wanted to show you guys what I've been working on, that I want to be able to talk about these things while they're up here on the screen. So welcome to the show. We got a really good show for you. Oh, that's right. My candidate won. I don't have to cry like certain other people who like to say, we got a really great show for you. Remember the So today I'm going to do, memes. They're not really memes. They're thumbnails from other people. You see how? So did you see that? I want that to stop. So I'm working on that. Anyway. As you can see, it's coming together. Here's my face on this side, and there's the thing I'm talking about on that side. Yes, she did it. But I wanted to show you guys and open my show with this because I'm so dang proud of it. So here we go. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, so one of them is about the letter Q. It's sort of metamorphosized, I believe, into something else. And I'm going to share that in one video. This video, I'm going to do these thumbnails where and show replacements and stuff like that. This video is meant to make you laugh. Then I have viewer mail. So I want to do 3 videos today and make them short. But I have to show off what I accomplished. I came in here this morning and I had an idea, and I said, I wonder if this would work. These people, the ones that they're deranged beyond anything, these people, they are unemployable. So what they've done is they've created a group of people, NPCs, I think are technically not able to, once you give them information, they're not able to absorb anything else. That's the bottom line. They can only take in information once. And that is permanently cemented into their brains. Their brains are low functioning. I don't know if there's any kind of med bed or anything they can go into, but I do know this. Once they got a hold of them and pushed this narrative that Trump supporters were evil and all of this, that's it. No other information is going to get in, okay? So they're unemployable, these people. Nobody wants them in the office, like shaking their fingers and calling everybody out. Nobody wants that. They are actually dependent on our tax money because they're not going to get jobs. These people are not going to get jobs. You show up with a septum ring, which, by the way, is a slave thing. You know that's what that means, that you're a slave. You've got that nose septum and all ready to get the leash put on it. They don't want peace in the Middle East. Does that not tell you everything you need to know? Are you tired of winning yet? I'm not. I'm not tired of winning yet. Please keep winning, Mr. President. Oh, I have news for you. A white supremacist nation did not vote a black president in. Okay? So you can take your white supremacy and shove it up your ass. Okay? Shove it up your asses if they work. I don't even know if you're human if you have asses. You are asses. But I don't know if you actually have an ass. Do you? What do you have? This one, see this? I think they lay eggs. I really do. I don't think they need an ass for anything. Yeah, white supremacists did not elect a black president. But then that raises the question. If you think we're white supremacists, then you must have cheated in this election. Okay? The Oblozo the Clown election that I don't think anybody voted for. I think he was installed, and I think during that time they had Soros voting machines, so I don't even think a black president was elected. But you didn't notice riots going on when the false election was announced, did you? So that just makes us better than them. Well, they have to wake up. They have to wake up. And so I think what we're going through right now is designed to wake them up. And I don't want anybody to be afraid, so we're going to laugh at them. And that's what this show is about. By the way, I want to shout out to my affiliates, redpillliving.com/snarky. I got some real good things to say about the new Time Stop. It's great. And also Trenant, which has some amazing products to help. A lot of them are geared towards women and menopause and weight gain for everyone. I mean, weight loss and for everyone. That's what I meant to say. Anyways, okay. So now here's the real show. And I hope my new shows, I can perfect this sometime, not this afternoon, because I already got this far today, this morning. God, I'm going to be working on my 3 videos. Okay. All right. Okay, now back to old format because so it has taken me a long time to learn how to do that. Anyway, now I'm just right on YouTube, and it says Portland's clothing optional bike protest sends internet wild. Well, I just got through talking about how ugly they are. So this is like... this should be against the law, them doing this like that. This is like a bunch of ugly people that are going to force people. Well, I didn't look at it. I saw the pictures. If you notice, this doesn't have any image of the actual. Who wants to see a bunch of saggy ass? They're ugly enough with their clothes on, okay? I mean, I can't stress this enough. This is just like, this is what somebody does when they just can't think of anything else. This is what a bunch of pervs do when they get together and they try to come up with something. You know? This just shows how perverted and inverted this party has become. They are totally separate from the human race. And so it really depends on how many alien hybrids we have here on this planet to see how far this is allowed to go. It's unbelievable. They cannot relate to anything having to do with politics. Now, what does that fact tell you? It tells you that they've been cheating this whole time. And look, the KKK, whether the KKK came first, which I believe it did, I believe the KKK wanted to get into politics and they created the Democrat Party. Because I heard someone on Gutfeld say that, I think it was Gutfeld, I'm not sure where I heard it actually, now that I think about it, but it was someone I respect, that said that the Democrat Party was the oldest political party. Well, if that's true, which I thought the Republican Party was older, and the Democrats had to do something about it, so they formed the Democrat Party. But if that's true, if the Democrat Party was the first party, then they are the ones that came up with the two-party system to begin with. And they instigated this whole two-party thing. The Republicans were the first black politicians were Republicans, and there were 6 of them, I believe. And I've already researched all the old newspapers and everything. Democrats were killing Republicans who hired blacks, gave blacks jobs, did anything towards giving blacks any dignity. They fought the anti-lynching law, for God's sakes. The Republicans introduced the anti-lynching law. So after doing my research, yeah, now I do vote Republican. I wouldn't vote Democrat if you put a gun in my mouth. God, hideous, just hideous what we found out about how awful they really are. And it's funny because what it really does is gives you an opportunity to observe the mirror thing. One of these short videos, which I could have lived without, this guy, he posts a lot of people who are running away from the Democrat Party, but occasionally he'll push like an example of a twisted DEMTARD, retard, dumbtard, programmed NPC type person, okay, which we don't even know if they're human or not. And he had one on today that was saying, if I see a Republican, I have to come up and tell them what they are, a bad person, they're a horrible person, they don't have a heart, this and that and the other, pointing the finger, ugly, oh God, had a skull cap on and an ugly face to go with that skull cap, which removes anything that hides the ugly. You can have long hair and kind of push it around over your face, like a hair hut, a hair house, and withdraw that thing. Get that thing away until you figure out what to do with it. Anyway, this one was not. This skull cap revealing there's nothing left but a big baseball-looking, basketball-looking. This is a white person, by the way, before anybody starts screaming racism. A white woman. Shock, gasp. And so you get a chance to see that whole mirror thing, because every single thing they say they hate is what they are. Every single thing they say they hate is exactly what they are. And they can't see that. Getting up in talk about Nazis, getting up in people's faces. Oh my God, they're so ignorant. That's what drives me nuts. Anyway, this is supposed to be a happy video, so I hope you're getting a good laugh out of it. A clothing optional bike protest for these people. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I thought the slave songs were, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Are you gonna let us steal your money? Are you gonna side with Elon? Well, it's our money, bitch. Quit singing that song. God. And that one flopped, as well it should have. But there was another flop and another flop because they're so jealous of our president. And if you notice, Time Magazine, I have lost track of, I think it's Time Magazine, and they put a bad hair on him, a hairdo on him. Why? Because his hair is iconic. Let me prove it to you here. Look, it's just the hair. That's how iconic he is. Of course, they're going to make what they think is funny graphics, but it just doesn't do anything because there's no substance to anything they do. None. But as you can see, it's an entity on its own. It's like the Nike swoosh. He is pop culture. His hair is pop culture. Stop photoshopping our president's hair, you pathetic twits. Whenever I see something like that, I think about how ugly they are. Do you see what I'm saying about the mirror thing? These people are bone ugly. Bone ugly. I've never seen, they don't even look human, half of them. And so, this is what they do. This is the mirror right here. So they have to turn people into what they are. And they are everything they say they hate. This is what they're jealous of. This is what they'll never be. Right here is a logo, all unto itself. Everything they want is right here. That's why they had to distort the hair. They cannot show this logo. They cannot identify that hair. That hair is an international symbol. Everybody knows what that is worldwide. And now he stopped war in the Middle East. This is a logo right here. This has all the meaning. And think about it. Where is it? It's right on top of his head. Who's playing 5D chess and who's playing Chinese checkers? Okay? So that's why they had to mess up his hair on their stupid cover of their magazine that nobody respects anymore. Remember, you've got new generations of people. The New York Times and the Time magazine, they've been around forever. They sort of rest their laurels on that. Nobody knows who you are anymore. It's like when you're watching Gutfeld and what's her name, Kat Tempf, says, who's Leave It to Be? What's Leave It to Beaver? You know, like she doesn't know even like what's Mork and Mindy. I don't even know if she knows what that is. It's like, how far back does her not knowing go? Well, think about then she's not exactly a kid. So there's a lot of now coming out that don't have any idea the impact that these so-called news icons have had on history and on the past. And also, we have to now go back and question every single thing they ever reported. I don't think they turned this way overnight. I think they've always been this way. They turned this way. They turned into a stupid version of themselves when Trump ran for office. He's a disruptor. He's here to disrupt the old system. Oh, he's so good at what he does. He's so good at this. I mean, think about the greatest generals, leaders throughout history. I can't help but think he's one of them. Reincarnated and came back to do this and was in it for the long game. In other words, his whole birth, from the moment he was born until now, he's too good at it. So this is what I've been talking about. I have all these ideas on how to just take out these people. But this is one good way. And I'm talking about a whole row of these bad boys. And they don't look like they have it on high speed. They need to put this on high speed, have a whole row of these. These are Mercedes fire trucks. They need to have a whole row of these things and just go down Portland and just blow them off the streets. Where they land is not your problem. Give them 1 warning, 2 warnings, 3 warnings, revving your engines the whole time. And the ones that are left, enjoy the ride. You might want to go jump off Niagara Falls, though. So there's that. And then you can arrest them while they're laying there trying to get their faculties about them again. You can just have another team ready to run in and grab them and arrest them all and stick them with federal charges. They need to face serious prison time for this. This is treason. This is insurrection. Yeah, we got our own memes, okay? and we're better at it than you. These people are pathetic at memes. All they can do is copy us. It's so pathetic. They can't meme. It's because they're not creative. A lot of them are probably hybrids, and they can't create. They can copy, but they can't create. Do you notice how they're just copying President Trump? That tells you a lot about who they are. They can't come up with their own ideas. Well, look at which side are you on? Now they're going to do it naked. Musk, you keep your hands off, your musky hands off our money. No, it's not your money. It's our money, old McDonald. And we want it back. We want your asses to go out and work for farmers and earn it back. Which side are you on? Singing your stupid slave songs when you're stealing us blind. God, they think we can't see. Anyway, we got our own memes. This is the United Spot. They do funny, like South Park kind of, but they have their own way of making these people look as ugly as they are. Also, how did an out-of-work bartender get into all this stuff? Slipped in under my, behind my back. That's the way I feel about it. It was all done behind our back. So there's probably a record of it somewhere, but they kept it hidden when they were doing shit like this. This is the biggest bimbo that ever, and it's running for office. So this should put the last nail in the coffin right here. Military operation. This is, they must be having the time of their lives doing this. Remember the McDonald's hamburger? So far, there's so many. Trolling is a big part of this military operation. So the memes are a huge part of the trolling, all memes. And they lost the meme war. They never had a chance at the meme war because the military was already on it. And the right just perfected the craft of memeing. It's not really a craft, it's an art form. It's visual communication. And so, but this one really got to them. The sombrero memes. So what happens when you meme? See, they're so in unfamiliar territory with the memeing. What happens when why do people troll? They troll to get a reaction, okay? It's called flaming. That's what it's called, inflaming that person, flaming. But to them, it's like food, okay? So when they get a reaction, they go 10 times harder. So what these leftist idiots are doing is they're getting inflamed there. And so what happens? You get a million times more sombrero graphics. The sombrero graphic is a real sore place for them. They hate it. And who's the one that's getting sombrero the most, And this one's getting sombrero. They hate it. They hate it. Now, this is called Puppetgate. I don't follow them or anything, but I really love this thumbnail. No one is above the law. And what now, brown cow? You've got how many? The charges are just multiplying. The more she grandstands and tries to gaslight everybody, the more charges come out. I think I saw where she was harboring a criminal for so many years. I don't keep up with the news because I know it's there to wreck my ascension process, which is coming along quite nicely. And I'll be showing a lot of videos, stuff. I'm taking a lot of videos around my house and with my dog, and I'm really wanting to get into the act here. Next thing, now that I've got my split screen worked out, I want to get the camera in the kitchen. So, that's my next move. So wish me luck on that, but I'll be working on it till it's done. Anyway, Big Tish. I can't wait to watch this thing perp locked. And by the way, have you seen a picture of this next to other real normal human beings? Like height-wise and everything? This thing is huge. This looks like a Sasquatch or something. It's huge. It's the biggest one. Like, there was some picture. I should look for that picture and find. I don't know why I don't save these things when I see them. But there was a picture of her sitting on a folding chair. And I mean, the chair didn't stand a chance. And there were other people sitting on folding chairs around her. And she was just noticeably bigger, like somebody put her in Photoshop and made her like, put another half, size on her, like made her, twice as big or something. But I think I said, is that a real picture or is that Photoshop? No one is above the law. Big Tish. Look at these idiots. They don't come up with any solutions. They have no real political views except hate Trump and hate Trump supporters. That's all that comes out of their mouth. Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. Listen, you idiots. If we were Nazis, we would have already tied you to our pickup trucks and drug you through town, okay? And then made, like, shoes out of you or something. Are you kidding me? Nazis, it shows how ignorant they are, that they know nothing about Nazis. Nothing. But look at this. This is just a bunch of pervs that want to flash America. Ugh. And they're so ugly. Why do they have to be so ugly? So anyway, I had this idea. Here's another one of my ideas, other than the wall-to-wall, Mercedes-Benz fire trucks with the hoses on high and the multiple hoses, like on the front. But then they could also have, them on the sides, squirting these people further away from the truck. See? They're not going to be able to handle it. At best, these are single-celled amoebas with short DNA, about an inch. Once you tell them something, they're never going to get it out of their head, so you just need to get them out of the way, okay? Here's another idea for Antifa, to send, like, from George Soros, just write that on it there, and it'll be a bunch of helmets that I've designed. They have a false top, like it passes as a safety mechanism. It's a false top. It's got springs on it. So when they put their heads in there, it's got some give. But what they don't know is underneath is a hornet's nest, okay? It also has a automatic locking device. So when you put it on and it lock it, it won't come off. And it also has like a clear thing. It's recommended that you put the helmet on gently, lower the clear part, and then lock it into place. That way, the cops can't pull your mask off, and nobody can expose who you are. It protects your identity. The only thing is, there's a hornet's nest underneath the false thing. And when you finally lock it into place, it wakes them all up, and you can't get it off. They're really, imagine them all trying desperately to get it off. You could maybe make it a small hornet's nest because you want them to live. Just learn their lesson. I think it's a great idea, especially when I look at this picture. You better stay here, Tren de Aragua. We do not want you to go. Roasting Democrats going viral. This is from Alex Asson, who I don't really follow. But see how many followers these people have? They all have way more than me. But it's good because the information is disseminating. and people are flocking to it. People are waking up. So you need a whole bunch of people. You know, I think just most of America has been asleep. They're not mentally retarded, but the ones that are left are seriously mentally retarded. I think they're dangerous. I do. That's why I shoot first, ask questions later. That was a joke. That was a joke. That was ANTIFA humor. But let's face it, some of these things, if you saw them in your backyard, you'd have no choice but to shoot first, ask questions. I'm not waiting for that to come into my house. Stupid games have real consequences. Now, this is Decoy Voice. He's pretty funny. I like listening to him. He's kind of dry, but sarcastic at the same time. So, but look at this. Nobody's even pointed. They still can't even come up with their own mascot. They stole our mascot as well. This one's ugly. This one isn't cute like Pepe. But still, come up with your own. Don't you have a bunny or something? Why are you... Is it because you just can't come up with any ideas of your own? Your only resource is to copy what other people do. You definitely can't come up with anything to say. No queso, no sauce. I don't even know what they're saying. It's so ridiculous. But they all say the same thing over and over and over again. They don't have any original thought. They don't have any political ideas. That's why they all failed miserably. But that, why do you think they do that to their faces and stuff? I think in a lot of cases, it's to hide their actual skin. I really do. And this is one of those cases. The deadliest prisoner in you. Okay, I'll take it. What the hell is this? Now you've got an elongated skull that they're not ashamed of. And what are these supposed to be? Evil Women Crimes in the UK, Part 1. Well, how many ETs do you think are running wild around the UK? I think quite a bit. Because they're the most New World Order place, it appears. Other than Germany, well, all those European enclaves, but I think London was the first to start the whole bloodline thing. But I could be wrong about that. I'm just guessing. But they are definitely one of the oldest because they're the ones breeding the Antichrist. And some stuff on that fell through. Didn't work out the way they wanted it to. I don't know about this. This could be human, I guess. If it is, it doesn't want you to know. This, what? What are you doing? And this, I'm not even going to address this because elongated skull, I think I already have. Yeah, if these two would turn to the side, I'd be able to give you more information. This one, don't need it. Don't need it. People, we are not alone. And many of them are in our government. A Somali socialist. Or a gray alien that spray painted themselves brown. What the hell? What the hell? Because socialism is Satanism, is reptilianism. They want to harvest people. They worship the god of eugenics. That's what these, well, they're not transgenders. They are hermaphrodites, genetically created hermaphrodites, and they want the New World Order. I think in large part these people are cannibals. And a lot of these murders that happen where people's throats are cut, there's a lot of blood and stuff. What happens to the blood? If you think these people, a lot of them aren't drinking the blood, think again. And if you like, I should do a whole special on that, where I dig up these court cases where it became evident that there's something wrong with the actual person. They're not human-y. Anyway, here's one that's not. Fatih, that's his name. Fatih's election would kill our city. Minneapolis, of course, with Tampon Tim. being in charge, this is what you're going to get. He looks deranged. He looks like he's high off of adrenochrome. Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome, baby. What a ridiculous thing to have to exist through, you know? All of their censoring and everything, and then them coming out and going, he's a Nazi. No, you're an idiot. You need to get down on your hands and knees and thank God we're not Nazis. I need to see a human DNA test done on this one. I don't accept it as human, okay? Not at all. It certainly doesn't act human. Giggling their way through fires and tragedies. It's like sitting over there on the side. Yes, Malibu just burned to the ground. Yes, it did. And I don't know how that happened. I was in London. What the hell? I was on a cruise. Is that even remotely like a human being, okay? The thing they're liking to do, too, is masquerade as gays and lesbians. They're not gay. They like kids, okay? They're not gay. They like kids. They both like kids together. That's what they do. And they get high off of all of it. All of it. The screaming, the everything. So, and the adrenochrome. While we're at it, we're going to need a gender check and a human DNA check on this one. Thank you. You see what I mean? This is already not a short video. I may have to cut some things out. Anyway, I'm going to leave on this. Liberals don't see a president, they see a king. Funny, that's what I see too. I see a king in the best way possible. This man is a king to me. He's playing 12D chess with these people. And the trolling is part of it. Don't forget about the McDonald's thing. That was a troll. And it's trolling them in multiple ways. As we know, what was on the menu at McDonald's was not all animal DNA. And I forgot the last percent. What was it? 20% human DNA or something like that. It was a ridiculous amount in the meat. And you had Rabbi Finkelstein in an interview laughing about it, that they took the rest of the sacrifices and the human leftovers down to the meat packing district, and they sold it to McDonald's. And then he said, you're eating your own children, and this maniacal laugh in that interview. He has done more for this country, I would say, than all of them put together. I really would, because I don't even know. I'm seeing a lot of sketchy-looking first ladies in history. So I'll reserve my statement on that. But in my eyes, he's a king, and he always will be. So I'm going to leave on that. Please subscribe and like on Rumble, BitChute, and on YouTube, if you will. It really helps me out a lot. And it doesn't cost anything. And with that, myself and my man, Max, we are signing off.